In the red, Andy Lopez in goal for Ohio Horde to our right. He has been stellar in their first two wins. Jack Allen for Resolute is in goal to our left. It'll be Ohio Horde with the first possession. And if you are new to the Ohio Box Lacrosse series, we play 4 10-minute running clock periods, and it moves fast. First shot of the game will be saved by Allen. We'll get a push here, and Ohio Horde will maintain possession here of the opening possession of the game.
Yeah, the Horde, a very dodge-heavy offense. You can see right now Shaw, their leading goal scorer, positioned behind the cage, known for getting a lot of dive looks.
And we're going to get a here on the save made by Allen, who's right now kind of afraid to move.
That would be, doesn't cross the line though.
And now we come back the other direction. Ethan Brooks, who's had a good first couple of weeks. He had 3 goals last night, number 1 in red.
Got a lot of those off of some sweeps, a lot of those off of outside shooting.
Boy, Jack Jasinski took 2 shots like a pinball, trying to dodge down the center alley, and ends up turning it over.
Yeah, if you don't have enough space when you're going to dodge right down the middle, those defensive players will punish you quickly, because that's the last spot they want an offensive player to be.
Now it'll be coming down the alley, having the ball jarred free. Ball is picked up. About 8:20 to play here in the opening quarter of action. This is David St. Clair, works it across to Evan Nickel. Nickel with a crossover, pivots back. Now feeds it to the far side, shot and a score. Spencer Vandenberg will open up the scoring for Resolute with 8 minutes to go here in the first quarter. He had a hat trick in last night's game, and Resolute leads 1-0.
Vandenberg was definitely offensive firepower for the Resolute last game. No doubt picking that up today. Was on my watch list of players to keep in mind when you're looking at this Resolute team. He's been scoring from inside, he's been scoring from outside. He knows how to put the ball in the back of the net.
Still trying to pick up the ground ball from the face-off. That'll be Resolute in possession. Now Jasinski again, tries low and creeps it on the inside of the post, getting past Lopez.
Great placement there. Jasinski just putting it near pipe. I think sometimes those keepers don't know how close they are with their shin guards relative to the pipe. And so sometimes you can just kind of fire it in there and jam it in there and get a good look. Definitely not the start I'm sure the Horde were expecting. Resolute coming out strong here with some good finishes, both on the same side. So kind of interesting there. I wonder if Lopez might have a weakness folks are looking to expose. Looks like no one wants the ball right now, but now finally being picked up by Resolute.
And with a 2-0 early lead in this one.
Definitely been looking for Jasinski to come alive. He's a very, very good lacrosse player in this series so far. He started slow, and maybe this is his game where he really starts to take control.
Cade Galco will work it back the other direction now.
Galco, the workhorse of the Horde. He's been up and down in transition. Oftentimes you'll find him with the ball hoofing it across the half of the field, and sometimes getting some offensive looks as a result.
Now the ball will come out near midfield. Going to have to get rid of it in a hurry. Galco will to beat the shot clock, but a hopeless shot goes wide, and now St. Clair with a restart here for Resolute.
Quite the pickup coming right out of the box. Good vision from him, and the refs say, hey, quick start, let's play lacrosse.
Brooks will give it up now. Vandenberg works along the wall. Galco gives him a couple of shots. He sheds him off, fires. That one will be saved by Lopez.
Boy, coming loose from Lopez's stick. Cocked it back a little too far there. But Vandenberg again looking to score. Very good on his feet, has great balance, good through running in contact.
Let's see if Ohio Horde can get on the board here. Stumbling was Aiden Evans, but
tabletop maneuver there from the Horde.
And he'll get rid of the shot as he gets bowled over once and twice. Took a shot from Sam Camacho as he let go of the shot. Now in transition for Resolute, it'll be Hannah.
Yeah, some retaliatory action there. No doubt when a pick gets set on your teammate, they get blown up and end up on the ground. You're going to want to make that player who set those picks pay. Resolute does just that. It's the off ball, the physicality level already the highest we've seen today. I think the Horde try and rope you into that game, and they do it pretty well.
Nickel, shot will go wide, out of bounds. And Ohio Horde trailing 2-0 will have it. Long outlet, went right past Barkheimer, will go down into the corner. He and Cecil will battle for it. Now a second Resolute player will come in.
Not sure why number 12, Levin, didn't just grab that and settle it. Horde needs something a little bit slower there than a cross-field transition pass for a 1 to goal.
And we're going to get a stoppage and a penalty here. Will be our first of the game. And it'll go against Ohio Horde. Resolute is going to have its first man up.
It'll be a holding penalty, judging by the ref's motion there for 2 minutes. I think that was on, was that Barkheimer? Can't see the number.
Nope.
There.
So it will be Rezo with a man-up opportunity. Closing it on 3.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. They've got the 2-0 advantage.
Great way of drawing the defense right here. It's definitely more traditional man up.
David St. Clair's shot was saved. And looks like we're going to get a penalty here against Resolute.
Absolutely. That's a hold if ever I've seen one in the game of lacrosse.
But we play on for the moment. Racing into the offensive end, Zach Blackwell shoots and scores. He had Jasinski draped all over him, and Blackwell scored nonetheless.
That is a muscle and hustle play right there. You can see he's hyping up his teammates, being quite vocal about the goal he scored, and he should be. As you said, Todd, draped all over him was Jasinski, but he's able to find a way to score with the stick still in his right hand. A quick and strong finish. He's definitely hyped, jogging back to the bench for that one.
So because Ohio Horde scored, they wave off the penalty against Resolute, who actually still will be a man up now and leading by a score of 2-1.
Sometimes in box lacrosse, when you see an opening, even if you're a man down, you just got to go for it. Pays off right there for the Horde.
Well, Jordan will win the face-off for Resolute. 2:20 to play first quarter of a 1-goal game. Evan Nickel. Now Jasinski will work it to the far side. That shot by Markwood. Did it bounce in? It did.
It did.
And so they'll get the man-up goal. And that was Ethan Markwood with his first goal of the series.
Yeah, a lot of times when you have a man up, all you have to do is get that defense to rotate once just because of how close you are to the goal. And in that instance, Resolute demonstrating that with 3 easy passes, defense is out of position for a quick shot.
Boy, and a great face-off win by Jordan. Feeds it out in front to Brooks. Good save made by Lopez, and an even craftier play to pick up that ground ball by Quincy Kramer.
Kramer there tiptoeing, keeping that stick high. Something you don't see often because that's easy for a check, but Resolute not able to make a play on it, so he gets the clear.
Down to 1:20 to play here first quarter.
Another slow opening, just like we had in the first game.
Much lower scoring. Now working it quickly back the other way. Jewel Walker, he'll fire, saved by Lopez. Ball was nearly picked up by Simeone. Still battling behind a cage. Tommy Janowitz for Resolute comes up with it, fires it behind his back, and a turnover as Ohio Horde with under a minute in the first will now have it. Galco will take it into the offensive end. He takes a check to the head. Arm comes up with the referee. Delayed penalty here against Resolute.
Yeah, that wrap check way too high. That'll be a slash call for sure.
Steal there by Puckett, which will stop play with 40 seconds and counting here in this first quarter. And at least for a couple of moments, Ohio Horde will be a man up here. Be interesting to see how much time will be left by the time they get the restart here. They're trying to get it going quickly.
Yeah, this was the most opportune time to commit a penalty for Resolute. We are not on stop clock at this point in the game, so we have a game clock that is running out as they aim to get set up.
So they'll restart with 13 seconds. Penalty will carry over to the second quarter if necessary. So a quick opportunity here for Ohio Horde. Feed across and a beauty, and a good save made there. And that'll expire our first quarter of action. Good quick start here by Resolute. 3 different goal scorers in Vandenberg, Jasinski, and Markwood. And it is a 3-1 advantage in favor of Resolute after 1 quarter. Second quarter coming up, and Resolute with a 3-1 advantage at the end of one. A little different first quarter than we've seen so far in this series.
Yeah, a lot of times when it's a low-scoring game, the keepers will still have taken quite a few shots, but I don't think that's been the case in this first quarter. It's been a lot of transition, it's been a lot of good looks, but there haven't been many shots on cage. I think if we want to see a higher quality game, we want to see more goals on the board, we're going to need to see more settled opportunities, we're going to need to see these teams really clean up where they're taking their looks.
Ohio Horde in the green with the opening face-off win here in our second quarter. They are the team right now that is 2-0 with the win by overpower in overtime earlier tonight. They have gotten to 2-1. A Resolute win here tonight would certainly muck things up going into the final week of play next week. 2 games to be determined matchups next Tuesday, championship game next Wednesday night.
Yeah, with a win here from Resolute, we'd be looking at a 3-way tie for first, I believe. And that could really complicate how the seeding works. We're not sure if it's goal differential.
Oh, and a rebound win by overpower, and the goal by Dominic Shaw, who had 2 in last night's game. And that'll cut it down to a 1-goal game.
Yeah, only a matter of time until Shaw comes alive in these games. He's been an offensive player, has been very consistent for the Horde. So seeing him on the board, not a surprise for the Horde. Closing the gap now, 3-2.
Resolute with a face-off win. Will Jordan this time. Trying to get the feed in front to a wide-open Tommy Janowitz, but they couldn't get connected. Janowitz able to save it down in the corner. Now will fire from out on top. Rebound, Karam's out in front, and Ohio Horde will come away with it. Stumbling down was Nate Clark, but the ball remained in the circle, and so they're able to maintain the possession and work it back the other way. It'll be Zach Blackwell.
Lopez came out way far on the crease on that one. I think he just wanted to hit somebody, but as a goalie, you don't get the chance to do that often, so you can understand why you might be starving for that opportunity. Yeah,
typically you're the one having guys run right at you, and a diving play here, and that's going to be a goal. J.P. Mercer, he had one last night when he dove in from behind. This one he dives in front.
Yeah, safe to say that no matter where he's located on the field, he'll be flying into the crease in one way or another. So good work from him. Seems like just increasing that angle, making it tough for the keeper to read what you're going to do is what JP is about.
So that will tie the game for the first time tonight after Resolute scored the first 2 goals in the first 3 minutes of the game. And another face-off win this time for Logan Spaeth. 7:35 to play. Again, right out in front, wide open, Zach Gleason. And 3 straight goals to start the second quarter will give Ohio Horde the lead.
A beautiful look there. Gleason coming out of the box knows, I'm not going to get set up in formation. I'm going to push and take up as much room as I can on this cut, and eventually I'll be seen. When he does that, he gets in a 1-on-0, only the keeper to beat, and that's an easy way to score.
Now it's Will Jordan with a face-off win. They've got a little opportunity. Jordan tried to take it himself, and his bounce shot goes wide and out of bounds. And so Ohio Horde will have it. 3 minutes gone by here in the second quarter.
Those face-off sticks, not the most reliable when it comes to shooting or passing, but the defense doing a good job of waiting it out, forcing him to make a decision he might not want to make, which was a shot not as close to the cage as can guarantee a goal with a face-off stick.
Barkheimer loses the defender, works it back out on top. That shot saved. Dominic Shaw on the shot, and the save made by Allen. And we had whistles and a stop behind the play. Do we have a penalty here? Looks like we do. I think Resolute's going a man up here. Or I beg your pardon, Ohio Horde's going a man up.
Yeah, what the call was, not too certain, but it'll be interesting to see how the Horde deals with a man-up opportunity. Again, not a team that's gotten a lot of goals off of pure ball movement. Of course, I say that, and Gleason had a fantastic cut for their last goal.
Just happy to see Gleason out here. He did return yesterday after taking a shot towards the rib cage area. His shot here is no good, and a save here by Resolute, but he went down on a heap, did return to the game, but sometimes that next day doesn't feel so great, but he's back out here playing again tonight.
Yeah, the fact that these players are going night-to-night games in a sport as physical as this is definitely a testament to their abilities and their strength. So nice to see him not getting roped up in any form of injury, especially off-season kind of summer fun activities here with the Ohio Box Lacrosse Series.
Shot clock winding down. Jasinski just flips one on goal. Still a man up here, Ohio Horde, as Dominic Shaw will carry it into the offensive end. And now let's see, Jonathan, how they set up here offensively as this man-up opportunity is winding down.
Yeah, this open set is going to give them the most opportunity from a good outside look. You'll see as the players rotate the ball, they'll want to step in, they'll want to try and draw someone and then move it.
That shot blocked from Skylar Walland, and Resolute with a ground ball, and now they can pretty much expire the man up here as Humphreys will carry it into the offensive end. Now he will get off as he hands it off to St. Clair.
Humphreys with a great play there, soaks the shot and gets the ground ball. He's an all-in-one player there, keeper and defender on that play.
Might have a delayed call here against Ohio Horde as well. Our official on the far side with his arm in the air. That shot by Ethan Brooks will be saved, and now they'll stop play with 4:25 and counting here in this second quarter of action. And so now we're going to see probably 4-on-4 for a very short period of time, and then a man-up advantage for Resolute.
Trying to see what the call was on that one as well.
So they're going to release on the whistle. So basically it'll be a man advantage here now for Resolute. Their first of the night. Under 4 minutes to play now here in the first half. Mark Wood trying to scoop it up after he didn't make the clean catch. It sticked into the offensive end of the Horde by Shaw. And now Resolute will have it. Didn't see if they reset the shot clock or not. Sounds like it's winding down. Jasinski just fires one across that hits the back of the leg of our referee, and it is going to be a violation. So first man-up opportunity, not very good for Resolute.
No, you can see the vision there. They were trying to set a guy to set picks on those top two corners and get a shot from there, but Jasinski, that pass nearly the speed of a shot. You can tell he was just trying to get a quick look as time wore on.
So Ohio Horde and I believe Dominic Shaw standing out here. He is just letting time run down.
See, they're calling for the ISO there.
Shaw will bounce one towards the goal. And now it'll be Resolute with another opportunity here. A man up, 2:48 and counting here in our second quarter. And I think we've gotten a timeout used here by Resolute. So with the little bit of time that they still have remaining in this man-up advantage, they want to see if they can put together something and get themselves a good look with 2:45 to play in the half.
Yeah, and judging by that first attempt, it won't take much for it to look a little bit better.
Well, a great first game earlier tonight between the Stanley Steamers and Overpower. A game that in the first half we just alternated goals. It was 3-3 at the break. The first 3 goals were scored by the Steamers in the first 3 minutes and 40 seconds of the third quarter. But from that point on, the Steamers went cold. Overpower managed to come back, tie the game at 6. Then with 50 seconds to go, took the lead before the Steamers finally had a 16-minute scoring drought end with a goal to tie it. But then in the overtime session, Will Musgrove's second goal of the game gave them an 8-7 overtime win. And really, Overpower stole that game away from the Steamers. It looked like middle of the third quarter they were going to have the win.
Absolutely. At that point in time, you were saying, hey, this one is going to the Steamers. They got the best rhythm, but they kind of went cold offensively, like you said, and that proved difficult in the end.
Both goalkeepers in that game, Josh Wade, Andrew Laxton, were outstanding, making a number of terrific saves. And Resolute's going to get this goal on the man-up situation. 2:23 to play, and Resolute has tied the game at 4. And that goal will go to Evan Nickel.
Yeah, Nickel was an outside shooter for Resolute in that first game. Looking to pick that back up in this game as well. Time and room, good placement, shooting across the body of Lopez as he moved. Great patience from Resolute, which we haven't seen yet in this game so far.
Face-off still free. They battle for it in front of the Ohio Horde bench. Aiden Evans just gets pinballed around. Finally able to clear himself some space and hands it off to Barkheimer. 1:40 left, second quarter, tie game.
Sometimes you wonder in those moments how they're able to hold on to the ball.
That shot goes high. Whistles off the board. Shot clock down to the near end, and Zach Blackwell whistles one low to the right of the keeper, Allen, for the goal.
Yeah, Blackwell there showing us that sometimes it's all about placement. Keeper there didn't move too much, but bottom left corner is quite the place to put it off a little bounce. So fantastic late shot clock antics from the Horde, keeping them up in this game. It's stuff like that, as this game wears on, is going to tip the balance and give them the win.
Oh, great check from behind, and then Jordan gets plowed. And the ground ball is still free, and the Horde will come out of there with it. Wow, Skylar Wallen will have it here for Ohio Horde. And Will Jordan checking his faculties over there on the Resolute bench. And now Ohio Horde is going to use its first half timeout with 41 seconds to go.
Yeah,
Yikes.
the Horde's not afraid to be physical there. That's one that'll have him wincing anytime he gets a face-off from here on out. Just a reminder, hey, don't run down the middle of the field. Maybe pull it out and wait. Definitely made me wince as well.
It's been physical. I don't know if it's been as physical as last night, because we had some big hits all over the field in last night's game, and a couple of times it got a little chippy.
Absolutely.
But we haven't seen the chippiness here tonight so far.
Last night it was really the off-ball stuff in settled offense. The physicality and transition is something that's just part of the game, but definitely the off-ball stuff, it's a choice. Two players bumping elbows, hitting each other's sticks. That's something that's very elective, extracurricular, you might even say, compared to this game where obviously a hit like that is someone who's trying to stop transition.
They're playing with 4, Dom. They're playing with 4.
Anthony Kelly, who is coaching Resolute tonight, and the all-time face-off leader in the history of professional lacrosse, physical man in his own right, was trying to defend his own player, his own face-off man who got decked on that last play. He came all the way out onto the field to challenge the referees on that last no call. Head save there by Jake Allen. Remember, this is a man-up opportunity right now. I beg your pardon, we are 5-on-5, my mistake. 14 seconds to go.
It actually looked like Resolute sent someone down for a fast break.
So I looked down, there was only 4 people.
Yeah. A little bit confusing, but some strategy play there from them.
5 seconds to go. Horde player lost his helmet. That was Eli Harless. And a save will be made by Allen, and a disjointed, chaotic end to the first half of play. And no surprise at all. 1-goal game, 5-4 right now in favor of Ohio Horde.
Yeah, you talked about the physicality at the face-off point. Maybe we'll see Kelly suit up himself. Who knows?
I think he's done.
Yeah, he still has the love of the game, though. You never know. But yeah, it's been back and forth. There's been some wild exchanges here. You can see the strategy starting to be injected in this game too. Resolute sending someone down for a bit of a cherry pick opportunity, trying to force the Horde to shoot early. It's really anyone's game. We have a 1-goal game, another fantastic setup for a second half, much like the first one. Be excited to see what happens.
5-4 Ohio Horde, short timeout, second half is coming up. Todd Bell, Jonathan Schroeder with you here, Resolute Athletic Complex in Columbus. Second half ready to go. 4-3 or 5-4. Ohio Horde with the lead right now. As Zach Blackwell, a pair of goals for Ohio Horde. 4 different goal scorers right now for Resolute. Physical game, a little bit, I wouldn't call it sloppy, just not quite the flow we had in our first game tonight. Nonetheless, 1-goal game. We'll take it here at halftime.
Absolutely. I think goals have been a little bit messier to come by in this game. A lot of them off of some messed up dodges or just kind of fired shots late in the shot clock. I think if one team wants to come out ahead, they're going to need to clean it up, get some better looks, and get comfortable with the physicality of this game, comfortable scoring while moving the ball.
Vandenberg, Jasinski, Markwood, and Nickel, the goals for Resolute in the first half tonight. This is Jablonski out on the far side. Jasinski now will try and fire it to Brooks. And they couldn't get connected up. Ohio Horde will have the possession and they're first here in the third quarter. And Devin Halliday will be slowed up. Blackwell a pair, Shaw, Mercer, and Gleason. The goal scorers in the first half for Ohio Horde. Barkheimer feeds it in front. Galko. Scramble. Galko got it back. Checked from behind. He lost it. Shot clock winding down. And Resolute's going to end up with a ground ball here, and George Cecil will have it now for Rezo.
Yeah, messy exchange there. I think both teams, you can see their vision, their theory of how they want to play this game is there, but they've been unable to execute. That last offensive possession, Jasinski went to find Brooks. Brooks wasn't even prepared for that pass. So some teams need to realign to make things happen.
Time and space there for Ethan Brooks, but he ends up hitting the crossbar, and it comes all the way back to the other end of the field. Jasinski will win that battle, and now they've got a little bit of an advantage here, and a shot at a score. Jasinski able to sneak that one past, and that will tie the game at 5.
A little cheap shot and some chippiness ensues. Number 9 from the Horde there, Gabriel Gutierrez, gets tapped on the head by Jasinski. Despite Jasinski being the smaller fella, I think he said, hey, too small for me. I'm able to step up and shoot right in your face. And then you had number 1, Brooks, hitting him after the play, so we'll see if that develops a little story for us to watch.
I mean, so many of these players know each other.
Yes.
Some are teammates, some were teammates, whether it was high school or college. And sometimes it's tough to decipher if it's playful chippiness or real chippiness.
Absolutely. I think the nature of the series, there's not any long-standing rivalries or people that necessarily are filled with hate anyway. So most of the time I'm imagining it's just kind of the physicality, just playing and having fun. doing a sport you like, and the opportunity too. There's a lot more padding in this game, so sometimes throwing those shots with a smile on your face or taking them is just the way you enjoy the game.
You wonder sometimes maybe this isn't payback from something 4 years ago.
Absolutely.
maybe no long lines of hatred in this series, but maybe from something in the past for sure.
You never know. There's teams here from Division 1, 2, and 3. Yep. So there could have been a matchup a long time ago where someone did something.
And now we've got whistles. We had a shot clock violation. And we've got a penalty that's going to go against Resolute. So Ohio Horde's going to go a man up here with under 7 minutes to play in the third quarter.
May have been tripping. Not sure exactly what the call was again. But good man up opportunity. Shaw kind of being the floor general here for the Horde, keeping the ball, facilitating it. Their spacing is superb. Love to see them get some good cuts out of it.
We've had one man up goal scored so far tonight. That was by Resolute. That one a save made by Allen.
Just not the look you want. Take your time, move the ball around, see what can happen.
Behind the play, we've got players that are swinging sticks and fists and carrying into the bench while the door was open.
So I think initially we said this could be friendly, but I think quickly we just found our answer.
Wow.
To the nature of this game and the physicality. It is no longer friendly. We have fisticuffs, we have pugilists, we have people involved who are not so friendly anymore.
Still on the man up, shot for the Horde by Skylar Wolland. And that'll be a violation. And now Resolute will end up with the possession here. 5:45 to play in the third. The team in red, Resolute, will transition its players on and off the field as Jasinski will have it out near midfield.
And maybe something to speak to the physicality of this game. Anytime a Horde player is matched up against a Resolute player, they're seeing red perpetually. Of course, that's their jerseys, but could be something attributed to that.
Lopez, a great initial save. It was Morgan Morrill with the rebound opportunity. And now with 5:15 to go, it'll be Ohio Horde coming back the other way. And I thought the penalty was released. Rezo tried to run a fifth out there. Then they realized, nope, can't do that. So they run back off. Still 5-on-4 for the moment. Now a feed down low. Now picked up by Ohio Horde. Shot from out on the wing, and a goal, a blistering shot prior to the shot clock going off by Aiden Sexton.
Yeah, time and room like that for a player who's a confident shooter is going to translate to a goal very quickly. Still a scuffed up possession there for the Horde. I'd love to see them move that ball across those top 3 or 4 players and get that defense in a position where they're very exposed. Few teams have been able to do that in this series so far. I think the one that does in man up is going to find a lot of quick goals.
Will Jordan will win the face-off.
You can see taking a more conservative approach. Didn't go towards the goal there. Ran away and passed it off. No doubt has a little bit of trauma from those previous interactions.
Shot saved by Lopez. Andy now with the long outlet feed here to JP Mercer. 1-on-2. And so he will just back things off, hands it off now to Galco. Game all knotted up at 5 a moment ago. The goal on the man up by Sexton, making it now a 6-5 advantage for the Horde. They once trailed this game 2-0.
Yeah, another close one developing here. Sexton again with this ball, wants to shoot it outside.
That one goes high, hits the back of the netting, and will be picked up out of there by Resolute.
See, here's some communication offensively from the Resolute team. It's nice to see that. It's nice to hear that. You sometimes don't know what players are thinking.
Morrill gets clobbered in front, shakes his head as he gets back up.
In the olden times, they'd tell you to rub dirt on it after that type of hit.
It's rubber pellets now.
Yeah, or they'd say, hey, he just got his bell rung. But we all know that was a difficult one there. He's holding his helmet now, so hopefully he can make a quick recovery there, but he got sandwiched.
Under 3 minutes to go in this third quarter. Low shot by Barkheimer. Easy save made by Allen. And Resolute will bring it back the other way, trailing 6-5, 2:37 to play.
And You'll see Barkheimer there opting for a speed shot, just a power over placement. But when the keeper is directly in line with you, when they're prepared like that, you need to opt for placement. You haven't got him to shift planes. It's an easy save most of the time.
Now Owen McGee bounced around, got to get something off in a hurry, and did not. Shot clock violation.
A little disappointed by McGee there. I mean, even a turn and a shot could yield something. Box cross, got to go for it.
Great move, and in a ton of traffic, Dominic Shaw powers his way to a goal.
Fantastic footwork there. You can see he really shortens his stride to be able to dance through players, protects his stick well by shifting it across his body multiple times, goes for the dive as he's known to do, and capitalizes for a big energy goal.
7 of the last 10 in this game scored by Ohio Horde. Shaw with his second. And Will Jordan will win another face-off. And now Resolute will have the offensive possession under 1:30 left in the third quarter.
It's time for them to shut off the flow of this Horde team. Change the nature of this game by getting a goal for themselves.
Vandenberg gives it up down low, in front. And again, another save by Andy Lopez, able to smother it in the circle. And now we'll give it up. And Ohio Horde will have it with almost a minute to play now in the third.
This game has gone by quick in this second half. I think these possessions have been a little bit longer. So sometimes we're not paying attention to the game clock as much as we are the shot clock.
Which is winding down again. That feed caught from in behind. Now that shot goes wide by Sexton. It'll be a loose ball, shot clock violation. Resolute will have it. 35 seconds to go now here in the third quarter.
Yeah, Resolute should definitely opt for the last possession of the game here. Again, you mentioned it, their offensive capabilities recently have been a little slow. They need to get a good look, get comfortable playing back on the offensive side of things in a settled possession.
18 seconds. Jasinski out on top, feeds it to X. And a crease violation from in behind. Time winding down, 7 seconds. Ohio Horde trying to get one last opportunity. Ball is all tied up here along the glass, and that'll do it for 3 quarters of action. 7-5, Ohio Horde will have the lead. They extend their 1-goal lead at the break to 2. Fourth quarter coming up next from Resolute Athletic Complex. Fourth quarter coming up. Ohio Horde trying to remain a perfect 3-0. Resolute trying to make 3 teams 2-1, but they're going to have to come from behind and do so. The only goal by Resolute here in the second half, Jasinski scored with 8.5 minutes to go. So they're on a little bit of a scoring drought. The last 2 goals by Ohio Horde coming in the last 4:45. And Jonathan, here we go. Another tight one, 2-goal game heading to the fourth.
Yeah, 2-goal deficit in box lacrosse is not something to be too concerned about. And even though Resolute hasn't scored recently, these games ebb and flow. So we'll be curious to see what happens in this final stage of the game.
Will Jordan, who's had a good game in the face-off X, will win it. He'll fire, and that one will go out of bounds. It did not go off of the keeper Lopez, so it'll be Ohio Power with possession, their first of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, no one there to check Jordan that time, so he figures he'll have a go. Fortunately, no shot backup. in box lacrosse, so it'll be the Horde possession. I keep wanting to call them the Monsters.
Why is that?
I think Horde, I think of like, you know, like the green, they look like monsters. I think that's just like, especially I think of like NBA Space Jam. I think the Monstars.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I have to keep correcting myself before I speak.
Well, you've elevated them from game 1 last week from what you, I think, called baby food green to now thinking of them as monsters.
Yeah, I mean, their physicality speaks to that. The Horde swarming the ball, laying big hits, but yeah, monstery for sure.
Brooks with a timely pickup of a rebound off the backboard on the shot by Jasinski. Now Nickel fires low, and it bounces off of the keeper, Lopez, and goes in. We haven't seen the keepers go down all the way to the ground like that one, and it ended up backfiring on Lopez.
Yeah, that was surprising there. Still twixt the wickets, as they say. Nichols has been an outside shooter. He's confident there. Good way to catch the goalie off guard there is to shoot out of that rotation. So he does a little spin move there, rolls back, and instead of setting up for a shot, just snaps right to it. So the keeper doesn't have as much time to react.
Blackwell and Shaw for Ohio Horde. Now Nickel for Resolute, all with 2 goals in this game. And as we approach 8:15 to play in the 4th, it's back to a 1-goal game, and Resolute trailing has possession.
It's nice to have an outside shooter get hot. It just changes where you can be a threat offensively.
Good read on that one for Lopez on the shot by Jasinski, going low to his right to make the save. Along the glass of the near side, they battle for this ground ball. Under 8 minutes to go now in the game. Ohio Horde will pop out of there with possession.
Surprised there wasn't a violation there on time. It looks like they were running out or getting pretty close to clear it across that half.
Eli Harless along the glass here on the near side. Now Gleason just smothered there by terrific defense by Owen McGee. And then a bounce shot try by Woolen will go out of bounds. And the possession will head over.
Yeah, anytime.
Resolute, go ahead.
Anytime you're going to cross and go across your face like that with the stick, it's inviting that defensive player to do a strong cross check and jam it right in the middle of that interaction.
Jablonski finds some space and scores for Resolute to tie the game. First of the game for Michael Jablonski.
Shifting and dancing, getting to the middle of the field, all classic ways to increase your scoring angle. A good bounce. He was excited about that one. You can see kind of a war cry after the score there. But a 7-7 game. Boy, today's been the closest it's been so far in this series.
Remember, we were 7-7 at the end of regulation last game before it was won in overtime by Overpower. That shot by Jasinski goes wide. Brooks picks it up, fires wide. And then finally is Ohio Horde gathering it and quickly ahead now to Shaw. He'll work against 2 defenders from Resolute. Now a little tic-tac-toe action and a goal. J.P. Mercer will give the lead back to Ohio Horde.
Mercer once again in the right place, the right time. Barkheimer, I thought was going to go for goal there, but his patience, he slowed it up. He kept the spacing in the defense so he could make that pass. And Mercer collects easily with that goal. A very, very, very good and professional-looking play to a transition there. Now note again, this away box, you're going to have an offensive advantage because you're coming out into transition on the offensive half of the field. 6
of the 8 goals for Ohio Horde tonight scored by 3 different players in Blackwell, Shaw, and now Mercer joins them with 2 goals tonight. Feed in behind. Surveying, coming out on top. That got deflected. Will they be able to save it? And will. Brooks just scooped it up into the air. Tommy Janowitz finally able to pick it up. One arm pass forward. Now St. Clair with some room. His low shot saved by Lopez.
A lot of players in this Resolute team now opting for sort of a low bouncer, keeping it low, firing it low. They've had a couple go in on Lopez like that, so they may be looking to keep that up.
Good save on the shot by Harless. Now that one gloved down by Allen and able to keep it from going in, and they're able to pick it up and in transition. Bobbled here by Simeone. Now we'll take it into the offensive end. Under 5 minutes to play in regulation, 1-goal game.
Resolute, a team that was slower in their first interaction, got some good settled offense.
Boy, Brooks with a terrific first step His low shot again is saved there by Lopez. And you're right, it is noticeable that they're trying to go low here on Lopez, maybe trying to get some kind of a book on him after now almost 3 games.
Absolutely. It's been something that has been the trend for this team. I'd love to see him use those top corners, though, and use the pipes anywhere, low or high, as opposed to these sweeping low-angle shots. Sometimes changing that plane is the best way to do it. We
had a push by Resolute, and so the ball will head back over to Ohio Horde. Working our way to 4 minutes to go in the game. 8-7 Ohio Horde. Boy, a 2-goal lead here would be huge for them. Blackwell, the feed out in front. That shot goes wide by Barkheimer. Barkheimer got buried after the play, and finally Resolute comes away with it. Now a loose ball in front. Bodies are still just crashing off of each other, and Resolute will come in transition. Jewel Walker feeds it ahead. Jasinski back to Walker. Couple of fakes, shoots. Did he score? He did not. It appears to be saved by Lopez. Holds it in his hand and puts it into the stick of Galko, and they come back the other way. Now a leak out in front. Shot, score! Eli Harless. What action on both ends of the field.
Lopez holding that ball like he stole it in Indiana Jones. It's the idol there shaking Golden in his hand. A huge, huge, huge play from him. And then to look the other way, Resolute now a little bit in arms. You can see the timeout being called. Fantastic work from him. The defense there doing everything they could. Exciting work for the Horde. They've been a high-energy team, probably the most in this series, and I think it's paid off over time as they've had their ups and downs.
Joel Walker had that point-blank shot. He raised his hands in the air like he thought he had scored, and then as you eloquently noted, Lopez says, nope, I've got it. And while Resolute might have dropped their head for just the split second, it was Galko with a great outlet pass ahead to Harless, and he wasn't going to miss.
Yeah, well, that offensive player may have had his hands in the air to celebrate. The refs surely didn't, indicating a goal. So good heads-up vision there from the Horde.
So Resolute will take its second half timeout now. Still plenty of time, but again, these games, they've been lower scoring. Certainly they can score 2 goals, but Jonathan, they've only scored back-to-back goals once in this game. It was the first 2 goals of the game, all the way back in the first quarter. So we've seen Ohio Horde do a terrific job defensively tonight, not allowing them to string goals together.
Yeah, offensively, the consistency from both teams has been a bit of an oddity. So I think we feel that goal, how big the energy from the Horde was when they put it in. They know that goals matter more here, and Resolute knows that it's been tough for them offensively to put things together.
Will Jordan's had a good night in the face-off X, and Resolute needs him to win one here. He is squared off here, I believe, against Eli Hart. Nope, beg your pardon. That'll be Logan Spaeth. And it ends up squirting its way right back to Cade Galko, who will pinball his way into the offensive end here for the Horde.
Yeah, if you want to protect your stick and you don't know how, take a look at how Galko just did that. Put the lower end of the shaft between his legs and started rolling around to escape. He knew eventually he'd find his way out of there.
Big possession in this game. Blackwell stutter step, shoots wide. That'll carry him all the way back out towards midfield. That'll be gathered there by Barkheimer. Barkheimer, that shot will carry him off the post on the shot by Mercer. And now a reset of the shot clock here, so the Horde can take time almost down to the 2:30 mark.
Now you can see, note they got a cherry picker here. Resolute.
Right now, the time more valuable for the Horde to run off the clock here. It's 4-on-4 on this end. Mercer gets a step, fires one, another great save, but another reset. Now Blackwell, he'll fire it across. Not a great pass and a turnover, but a great check there by Barkheimer. Keeps the play alive, and it will roll out now to Blackwell. And the Ohio Horde now just continuing to run time off the clock. Barkheimer will fire it across, and we get whistles and what?
Got Blackwell and Cecil there being pretty physical off ball. I think a slash call will be put on both of them. Definitely need to cool off a little bit after that. You can see Crazy thing is, in these interactions, these exchanges, and these possessions, Resolute playing some good defense. No shots have gone without contact, but the Horde picking up nearly every single one of the rebounds and really drawing out the clock. It's now sub 2 minutes.
Well, it's going to result in a face-off. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. I'm trying to do math here. Is it 5 on 4?
It is. Looks like we have Cecil in the box for Resolute. Some extra out of whistle.
No, it's 5 on 5. I got everybody counted up.
It's even. There's two guys in the box for each. You got Blackwell and Cecil.
Jiving in, shot, that goes wide. Dangerously, Karams back in front of the net and wisely covered up by Allen. 1:40 to go, Resolute down 2, they need a goal.
Yeah, this possession, key for them right now.
Jasinski will be double teamed and knocked to the ground, but keeps his balance and the ball. Now Vandenberg over here on the near side. Right now, Resolute needs a good look. Ethan Brooks, Vandenberg over the top shot, and a nice save again by Lopez. Now Lopez will just fire it ahead in front of the Resolute bench. It'll be picked up there by Clark, and he'll carry it into their end. Closing it on a minute to go and a 2-goal lead right now for the Horde, and Jonathan Resolute now has got to double team the ball.
Yeah, it's dire circumstances for them. Horde doing a good job of running out the clock late in this game. They got to change something.
And a shot here, that'll again go wide, bounces all the way back out in front. Vandenberg thought he had it, and it turns into a violation. 45 seconds to go. The restart now for Resolute, trailing by 2. Now they absolutely have to have a goal. Jasinski draws the slide, works his way towards the net, crashes in, shoots off the post. Karams down towards the corner. This is going to be a long battle for this ground ball here, but it's rolling back in front, picked up by Ohio Horde, and they'll call timeout. Quincy Kramer had the ball roll right to him out in front, and with just 23 seconds to go and a 2-goal advantage, Ohio Horde will have the ball.
Yeah, this game has been a really scrappy one, and that's going to play into the favor of the Horde. They haven't had a game where they look like the stellar team out there, where they look like a team that's stringing all their passes together, where they're operating in perfection and really well as a unit. It's really been their physicality, it's really been their determination that's really carried them through a lot of these games. They just score difficult goals, and they play strong defense. It's paid off well for them.
So for Rezo, probably pulling the keeper here, Allen, right, you would think?
Absolutely.
Going to go with an extra defender. Again, they're in a bad spot, but if there's any good news for Resolute, the ball is all the way in the other end of the field, so pulling the goalie is okay here for them. And if they do get a takeaway, they'll be right in front of the goal, but they have got to get the ball back and score quickly with only 23 seconds to go and trailing by 2.
Yeah, this is Box Lacrosse's version of a 10-man ride. Again, no goalie in net. Let's see sort of a coast-to-coast action from Lopez, see if he can try and just fire it in there. But every player now marked up for this Horde team.
Well, they lost it for the moment. Now a quick fire down towards the goal, and it goes in! A nearly 200-foot shot for Dominic Shaw to ice the game.
Yeah, Shaw has now become our true long-distance scorer, putting it nearly back from near his goal, and that will ice the game for certain. 5
goals in the back-to-back nights after having a huge Game 1 last week for Ohio Horde. And now with 17 seconds to go, Ohio Horde is going to advance its record to 3-0. And they will take the face-off, and Galco's just going to try and run this out. Rezo's not going to quit. They'll double team him down there, but now they'll just lay off of him and wisely do so. And Ohio Horde, with a hard-fought win, had to come from behind down 2 early in this game. They led 5-4 at half, 7-5 after 3. And Jonathan, after the game, was tied at 7 with 7 minutes to go. They score the final 3 goals, and Andy Lopez doesn't allow a goal in the last 7 minutes of the game.
Yeah, Horde really never looked back on this one. I think when you talk about a team that can make it to the championship game and play through varying levels of adversity and a change in pace of the game, the Horde team is really shaping up to be the guys to beat. That does make sense. They are 3-0.
Boy, what a fun night of lacrosse. Back-to-back nights with electrifying play. Each game seems to get better and better as these teams are just finally getting accustomed to each other. And as soon as they've got it figured out, we've only got next Tuesday night left and then the championship game a week from tonight.
Yeah, nonetheless, it should be fun to see. I mean, we've talked about this. The biggest deficit we've seen in one of these games is 4 goals. And that's just a testament to the skill of these players, how quickly they've been able to form bonds with their teammates, and the goalie play as well.
Yeah. So the two teams exchanging handshakes. Final score in this one, Ohio Horde 10 and Resolute 7. That'll wrap up our coverage tonight of the Ohio Box Lacrosse Series. Stay with us. We'll be back with you next Tuesday night at 6 o'clock from Resolute Athletic Complex here in Columbus for the final night of a doubleheader, and then we'll wrap up this series next Wednesday night with our championship game. For my partner tonight, Jonathan Schroeder, this is Todd Bell saying so long tonight from Columbus.
The weight for players, and that's when those outside looks can be created. They're getting right up on them and they're switching quick, so that's good to see from the Steamers and their defensive expertise right here.
All knotted up at 3 here at the half. Stay with us. Second half coming up. Go for half number 2. Alongside Jonathan Schroeder, this is Todd Bell. 3-3 our score at the end of 1. Johnson, Blake Carawan, Gellert, the goals for the Steamers. Popovich, Musgrove, and Lip on the other side for Overpower. And you alluded to it earlier during that timeout by the Steamers, how even these 4 teams really are. I mean, again, here we are, our first tie at halftime of any of our games. It really just displays how evenly matched they really are. First shot of the second half by O.J. Morris, right off the shin pad of Josh Wade, who's been outstanding here tonight. Now a shot back the other way, and Laxton is right there as Caden Minetti fires the first here for the Steamers. I mean, we've been incredibly impressed by Andy Lopez for the 2-0 Horde, but the way these two guys are playing, and especially Wade tonight, they're challenging for the best goalie of this series.
Absolutely. I think really when it keeping any given point, step up and make saves, but Wade certainly is standing out among anyone currently just for his first half performance in this game.
Now Tate Jones dodges in, bounces it. Another save made by Wade. Keeps it a 3-3 game, closing it on a minute gone by here in quarter number 3.
I think these offensive players need to be more purposeful about their shots. They need to slow it down and focus on placement.
Like that?
Like that.
Devin Garcia, his first goal of this series as he plays tonight for the Stanley Steamers and puts them back on top by a score of 4-3.
Thank you, Garcia, for proving my point there. Yeah, that's placement right there. You know, it's opposite stick side hip. It's going to be tough for a keeper to bring that stick around, especially where they plant it, especially with all that protective gear. But also a good cut from him just to get to the middle there and have the choices on where he's going to shoot.
So Garcia will give the Steamers the 4-3 advantage. We continue the trend of the goals being scored by every other team. Johnny Cool just barreled right through two Steamers.
Yeah, proverbial bowling ball there.
But the Steamers will have the possession. 8:09 left here in the third.
Yeah, that call was definitely on Johnny. Sometimes that stuff is up to the refs to judge. Two of them.
It's too much?
Yeah, too much.
Van Voorhis will bury one inside the left post past Langston. And Alex Van Voorhis will come away with a goal. And back-to-back tallies now for the Steamers.
Yeah, and again, this second half now quickly opening up with some goal scoring. Yeah, the pace of the game sometimes, it's really about whether or not that keeper can make the save. The offensive opportunities stay the same, but when goals start to fall, much like hockey, you can get on a chaotic run.
So 5-3 now for the Steamers. Getting tripped up was Noah Sitak. And there's going to be a violation here against the Steamers. Jake Snyder will bring it into the offensive end for overpower.
Yeah, and my knowledge of the rules of box lacrosse aren't the best, but I do know pancake blocks.
That's not part of the game?
Not part of the game.
Great feed in front. Good defense on the trail check by Korn. Now Snyder keeps the possession. He's swinging around the perimeter. Trying to find some space. Shot over on the far side. Karam's all the way out near midfield. Shot clock violation. Steamers quickly on the restart. And Tremel Duncan will bring it into the offensive end. Duncan will now get off as he hands it off to Neil Ritchie.
Yeah, defensive player. He definitely looked a little bit uncomfortable in those offensive waters, so got it to the right personnel there. If I was him, I would have said go for it.
Sure.
Got a one-on-one, give it a try.
Cade Minetti. Shot clock trickling down. Shot from out on top. Good save by Langston. On the rebound, a putback by Merrick Zagornis. And 3 straight now by the Stanley Steamers.
Yeah, that's just why you got to keep that that spot above crease really clear. Because if you get a rebound and you have a savvy player there who can pick it up and the keeper's made a big save, they're not going to be ready for that follow-up. So a lot of times off ball, you'll see players forcing out that guy who sits right above the crease there.
So Garcia, Van Voorhis, Zagornis with the 3 goals here in the third quarter. Now Overpower. They'll get the possession on the violation here against the Steamers. Have now gone nearly 9 minutes between goals dating back to the second quarter. Alexander fires it across. Now the feed in front. Picked up, low shot, another good save. Austin Popovich, who has a goal tonight, made a quick play. But again, it was Josh Wade standing tall.
Wade, I think, did a good job of reading the body language there. He knew the way the guy was positioned. It was going to be a shovel shot, and it was going to be going low. So not only is he picking up on where the shots are going from where the stick is releasing it, but just the nature of the way the player is facing.
Under 5 minutes to play, second quarter. Now a shot from inside the line. That one will be wide, and Karam's right back to the man who shot it in Lip. Now fires it across for Alexander. Comes off of a screen, found a little time and space, and Dominic Alexander will score to break the run.
Yeah, just like that last time when he dodged out on the right wing on the left side here. A very patient dodge, getting around that first defender and waiting to see who plays him. But since he had no cutters that time, he was able to slow down and make a great place shot. Wade not able to save that one. Just in that top right corner there, good placement from him.
Just 15 seconds shy of going 10 minutes between goals for Overpower. They've cut the lead down to 2 and have possession. Trout looks to make a move.
Matched up against his current teammate at Baldwin Wallace, Tremel Duncan, and Duncan able to
take it away from
him.
Ends up into the stick of the keeper. And now Josh Wade with the outlet. Working on 3:45 to play here in the third. Now that one goes wide. Karam's off of the corner boards. Grabbed out of the air by Tristan Davis. Overpower trying to get it across midfield. Rocco LaPerna stops and wings it ahead. Now Davis will carry onto the left side, and he'll get off. Now a feed in front, fake on a low shot. trying to find a little bit of space. Oh, and just absolutely crushed was Landon Trout.
Here we go.
They will have word. Xander Johnson with a cross check right through Landon Trout, and that's going to be our first penalty of the game against the Steamers.
Yeah, again, the timing there on that slide was perfect. The placement of his stick, not so much. So knew that dodge was going to end up with someone rolling back. When a player's rolling back, they can't see the field. They can't see where you're coming from. So slides like that are oftentimes big hits, as we just saw. But unfortunately, really poor placement from Johnson on where he ended up hitting it. So while he goes to the ground and gets smothered, Trout, just an incorrect play there from Johnson.
So a man-up advantage now, first of the night. Or I beg your pardon, second of the night here for Overpower. Now a shot by Trout, that'll go wide. Alexander will have it. Alexander backs it out on top. Fake on a pass, now a shot. That'll be right into the left armpit of Josh Wade.
That was a much better man-up look that we've seen. The ball was moving. I think it's tough to get it all the way around in box lacrosse. So you generally see those top three guys being the facilitators. Again, there's no one who's always at X. Some teams will set up and man up with an X player, but not in this case. So I'd like to see a little bit more patience. I think Alexander had the opportunity for a shot there, but he's been a patient player so far in this game, so might not be the one to do it.
Behind the back shot, whistles past the cage by Caden Minetti, and then Laxton has the ball, Karam to him. Overpower still in a man-up situation. Alexander will carry it into the offensive end here, trailing 6-4, 90 seconds to play here in the third.
Yeah, again, they're still in man-up, so let's see if they can calm down, move the ball well, and get the look they want. Looking opposite corners right now. You'll see the bottom left and right.
Popovich shot might have gotten the post and will be gathered up here by the Steamers. Cooper Simpson trying to get out of trouble. He loses the handle, but able to pick it back up, takes it into their offensive end, gets double teamed, takes a couple of tough shots, and they should have been an overplay. Complaining about it, the Steamers will pick up the ball.
A tough play there from the Steamers, barely able to hold on. I'm wondering if that guy jumped, thought he wasn't touching the ground, it wouldn't be over and back, but that's definitely not how that works. So.
Either way, Overpower will end up with it after the easy save by Laxton, and now 37 seconds left, third quarter. After the first 3 goals were scored by the Steamers, they've been kept off the board the last 6 minutes. Now Trout will give it up. Back over here to Alexander. Tries to work against the defender, draws a double team, finds the man wide open out in front. Trout shot saved by Wade. 18 seconds to go. Alexander steps in front, comes away with a save. Now with defender draped all over him, Alexander will fire it across. Trout from out of the wing, he'll fire. That's no good. Picked up out of the air by Sitek. 4 seconds to go. 3-on-2. Sitek he had no idea how much time was left.
No clue.
And will not get the shot off in time. End of 3, Stanley Steamers 6, Overpower 4. Back with the fourth quarter here in Columbus at the Resolute Athletic Complex. (6-4), end of 3 quarters. Steamers on top, looking for their first win. Overpower at 1-1. And Jonathan, you hit it in the open. The level of importance of this game for Overpower here tonight. They've got a rally here in this fourth quarter with only next week's Tuesday games to go before the final on Wednesday.
Now, unfortunately, despite the stakes of this game, they sure aren't playing to the level of quality that's deemed necessary for a win, or necessary just for the importance of making it on to the playoffs, in which is just the championship. Again, they're in the second place position right now, but a loss to the Steamers would put them down to third and out of the championship game most likely.
Reset here for Overpower. Oh, I guess no reset. So they didn't reset the shot clock, and Overpower, unaware, gives it away, and here come the Steamers back the other direction.
Yeah, for this fourth quarter, the Steamers are going to have the offensive advantage, and as likewise, Overpower, just because of where the substitution boxes are. They'll have players coming onto the offensive side of the field ahead of any defensive players.
That shot whistles wide by Mason Walford, and it'll be Cool racing back the other way. He's got Giantonio to his left, tries the shot on his own. Ball comes out in front. Giantonio is in front, dumps it in. That ball kind of kept eluding Giantonio, and he finally ended up in his stick and he scored.
Yeah, I think he had the faith and the hope there that eventually it would come to him somehow. So manifesting the lacrosse powers that be to get a good look there. An excellent finish. Definitely something that we like to see. Some diving, high-flying action to put the game now within one. So Overpower doing what they need to do to fight back.
So Giantonio with his first goal of the night. Now we're up to 11 goals and 11 different goal scorers in this contest. That shot low, terrific save by Wade as O.J. Morris tried to sneak it inside the pipe. And it's a one-goal game. Steamers have the lead and possession with 8 minutes to go here in our fourth quarter.
11 different goal scorers. Did I hear that right?
You did.
That's fantastic. Just means that the ball is being shared and people are confident offensively and having to go at the goal.
Feed in front, low shot by Carawan, smothered there by Langston, who literally fell in right on top of it like it was a grenade. Now they'll race it back the other way. Flynn into the offensive end here for Overpower.
If there's any player on a lacrosse field, I would not be surprised if offered to jump on a live grenade for their teammates. It would no doubt be the goalie, who day in and day out is already taking a shelling from these lacrosse
Nothing
balls.
new, right?
Nothing new. Got to be a little bit crazy and got to be a little bit ready to sacrifice for your teammates.
Lip feeds out in front. That shot saved again as Jake Snyder tried to get one on goal. Wade made another play. And as we close in on almost 3 minutes gone, it'll be, do we have a penalty? We do, against the Steamers. And so a huge man-up opportunity now for Overpower.
This is definitely one they're going to want to capitalize on. Making an even game is going to make them a lot more comfortable and a lot more confident too. Sometimes when you're down, you're playing not to lose, and in a game where the passes are close, the tension is high, and you have to be very focused on the ball, that can allow you to make a lot more mistakes than you normally would.
So 6:40 and counting here in the fourth. One-goal game right now. After Steamers scored the first 3 of the third, the last 2 scored by Overpower. There's a shot from out on top and another save by Wade. And again, that one hit him square in the chest.
Overpower got to use that screen. Alexander setting a screen on that top guy, allowing a good shot if you just come over top and move the way he set the pick. But instead, they aim to stick and stay up top. Not the best look there. I think Overpower needs to have a more concise and more collected offense as a team.
Still trying to kill some time. Caden Minetti. He'll give it up to Carawan. Long-range shot at the end of the shot clock. And now Overpower will have it. 5:53 to play. Still a man-up situation here for Overpower.
Time should be winding down on that one, just how long they burn. But Steamers, again, a man down here. Overpower needs to move this ball quick and get a better look than they did before. See, like here, opposite ball. We need cutters. We need rotation. We need movement. They're not finding it.
Musgrove tries to go to Trout down low. Now Trout feeds it across. Low shot, no good. Now keep Trout trying to gather it back up. And the shot clock will expire. Would have been over and back regardless. 5:18 to play here in the fourth quarter.
The best looks in box lacrosse are going to be when you get the goalie to move. And the way you do that is by passing across the crease or from behind up to front, changing the direction, making them rotate and move so you can put it exactly where they came from. Overpower attempting that in that man up, but not able to get it done.
Still trying to run time off Lachlan Korn. Shot clock nearing its end. He'll just dump it down towards the cage. Laxton will gather it. Now 4:45 to play right at the end of the man up advantage, and now it's released. So we're back to 5-on-5. So a golden opportunity here for Overpower. Almost had a great chance there. Landon Trout was cutting right in front of the net but didn't make the catch. And the Steamers will come away with that loose ground ball. 4:26 to play, and it's a one-goal game.
Now, Steamers being very conservative. You saw they just ran out that shot clock to avoid the penalty. Sometimes when you get extra pressure, you want to go towards goal. I think they know the value of scoring in this game is much higher than it's been in other box matchups, and so they're playing as accordingly.
Battle down into the corner. That'll get kicked towards the goal and is picked up by Laxton. Overpower trails by a goal under 4 minutes to go. Only one goal so far in this fourth quarter. And now the Steamers have gone almost 13 minutes between goals.
Despite that, holding the lead, which is pretty impressive nonetheless.
Alexander stumbles his way, trying to just manifest a goal. Shot there by Haney off of the keeper, Wade. And the Steamers able to dodge another bullet with under 3.5 to play.
It's looking to me like at this point in time, both of these teams are a little tired. They're getting a little sloppier. They're getting a little slower and subbing in and out. I think we've seen so much transition in this game. It's starting to add up on the cardiovascular systems.
Low shot there. Did it trickle in? No sign from our official, and a miraculous stop by Laxton keeps it a one-goal game with 3 minutes to go.
I think it got lost in his padding or his jersey. Sometimes a little bit of that extra stuff can catch the ball, so props to him.
Took just the right bounce for Overpower trying to tie the game. Again, a perimeter shot that seemed forced to me.
Absolutely. I think in that sense, in that moment, try and look to get inside. You got one player to beat. Go ahead and try and beat him. Got nothing to lose. There's 2 minutes, 30 seconds left in this game. You're down a goal. Something has to change.
Now shot from out on top by Xander Johnson. Another great save by Laxton, who's played an incredible second half. And a whistle and what? Think we got a timeout?
Looks like a timeout, yeah.
So Overpower with 2:29 will use its second half timeout here. I mean, we've certainly sung the praises of Wade, but Laxton has now kept the Steamers off the board since the 6:12 mark of the third quarter. We're down to 2:29 to go.
Yeah, and that's
kept them in it.
Yeah, and that's that hasn't been without some good scoring opportunities. Johnson there earlier had a goal in the game that was very similar to what he just saw. A good placement from him, but again, Laxton stepping up big. It's fun to watch these goalies perform at a high level.
So big deep breath here for Overpower. They're going to have the possession. I think we've seen some quick shot clock possession shots by Overpower, and especially that last one, the last possession, all the way from out near the 1/3 line. This is an opportunity here where they've had a chance to talk. This has to be almost their best opportunity right here.
It should be. It should be. And I've said this before. We need to stick a detective on this case or something. But that first game, if you go back and watch it, their off-ball movement, the way they cut, the flow they had, was something that no team has replicated since that first game. So we're screaming out the voices of beyond. Where is this Overpower off-ball movement that got them a very solid win against that Resolute team to start this series?
6-5 Steamers, as Musgrove will win the race into the offensive end as they start this possession. Alexander, he'll give it up now to Keaton Trout. Trout with a good feed to Alexander, but he didn't make the catch, but he's able to pick it up off of the wall. 10 seconds now on the shot clock. Shot from out on the wing, and they'll get a reset. It went out of bounds, so they'll kind of restart things here down in the corner.
There's the second ball from the ref. He pocketed one between the quarters, I think, so we're a little bit more prepared here.
Now Musgrove fires, but again, right into the belly of Josh Wade, who will make the save. Double team in the defensive end. Ball is still free, sticked forward by Overpower. Now Musgrove will have it out in front. Good feed. Trout, he scores and ties the game on a terrific play.
That's what we like to see. I mean, great ride there. Oftentimes you won't get looks that good in box lacrosse, but great pressure. Some good ground play from number 16. That was Popovich to kind of goose the ball back in the offensive direction. And then a great late pass to an open player. Trout's going to score that one 10 out of 10 times with a great dive and finish.
And that will tie the game. Clock stops when we're under 2 minutes in a game decided by 3 goals or less. And now we are tied.
Morris today has taken quite a beating. I'm not sure if you've noticed that, but the face-off player for the Overpower, O.J. Morris, he's been pancaked, he's been jammed, he's been cross-checked.
And a diving try in front by Caden Minetti is waved off on a crease violation. 1:18 to go, Overpower possession. We're tied at 6.
I need to see a shoot-off in this series. Or shootout, I should say. If no goals scored in the extra period, that's a 4 minutes long, we will see a shootout. I'd love to see that today.
Another game coming right down to the last minute. 60 seconds to play. Feed out on top, shot. That one is blocked out in front by the Steamers. Gathered up here by Lip. They work it in behind. A diving try! And for the first time tonight, Overpower has the lead. Landon Trout again.
They picked the right time to grab the lead late in this game. Some hero antics, no doubt. 2 dives. Impressive work from Overpower.
It's our first multi-goal scorer of the game, and it's back-to-back goals by Trout with 50 seconds to go.
Yeah, Trout picked the right time to come alive there. You can see now on the face-off, Overpower has a new face-off player we haven't seen as much.
Gian Antonio will take the face-off against Sitek. In fact, I beg your pardon, that was Tristan Davis for Overpower. And the Steamers will have it. Maybe their last possession and opportunity of the game to try and tie it.
Laxon gonna need to step up like he's done before, but in the hands of Carawan here, who's a savvy shooter.
And he scores! Low to the right, just inside the post to tie the game with 33 seconds to go.
Good work from Carawan. He's a sweeping dodger, so a lot of times he'll make a quick move, and instead of attacking the goal, he's gonna create shooting space. Just like that, puts it low, and with enough speed that the keeper is not dropping to make that save.
Well, this is the biggest face-off of the game, is it not? With half a minute to go, you can hold for the last shot.
The stakes are high here. Possession is super valuable.
O.J. Morris will go back into the face-off X for Overpower. Again, overtime, a 4-minute extra period. It'll be a 3-man shootout if no goal is scored in the overtime. It is sudden death overtime.
Steamers doing a great job being a team that, well out of championship contention, are still working hard to eliminate Overpower.
So Sitek had the face-off win, and I think they had alerted the referees, if we win the face-off, we want an immediate timeout, and they got it just before the ball was jarred out of Sitek's cross.
Yeah.
And so the Steamers, with 30 seconds to go, will have basically the whole 30 seconds to try and win this game. It'll be interesting to see their approach. Do they take the first good shot, or do they wait and try and take it all the way down towards the end?
We'll see. I think traditionally the Steamers in this series have not been the best when it comes to settled 5-on-5 possessions, but right now they have the opportunity to talk amongst themselves and get the look they want. I'm sure they're no doubt inspired by the crease dives they've seen the other way, so I could definitely see a late shot clock attempt coming from somewhere close to inside the crease, maybe even getting the ball to X to try and draw that keeper and look off. Laxonen's really on point right now with the outside shots. We know Carawan just had a look as well. Maybe they'll set something up with him. There's a lot of possibilities. Defensively, if I'm Overpower, I just want to stay home right now. I don't want to crawl too far out on the dodges and get the ball to move freely or get a second player drawn in. I want to see a shot from the outside for something that Laxonen can save and then go the other way for a quick transition look.
So it'll be Jackson Carawan, Xander Johnson, Merrick Zagornis, along with Caden Minetti and Blake Carawan for the Steamers.
Minetti's been quiet this game, but last time he played, he had a few goals himself. He could seem to come alive maybe in these last seconds, an underutilized weapon or something that Overpower hasn't prepared for. Looks like they're just going to burn out the clock here and get this last look.
14 seconds, so they know what they're going to do. Carawan now with 9. Looks to try and take the man off, fires, save made by Laxton. Really try and get a quick outlet. He's being smart with it. He'll just fire it to the other end, and that will do it. He got it on goal, and Josh Wade had to make one more save.
You could tell Wade was a little bit on pins and needles there. An easy save in theory, but with a 7-7 tie and the thought in the back of your head, I better not let this in, stuff becomes a little bit more dangerous.
So again, our first overtime in this Ohio Box Lacrosse series. And overtime decided in a 4-minute extra period sudden death. And if no goal is scored, it'll be a 3-man shootout. I don't have a sense of how this is going to go because it's been low scoring. It's 7-7. This is our lowest scoring game we've had. And had Steamer nearly between goals. Seems that they're going to play the 4 minutes cautiously, and we have the shootout, but it's box lacrosse.
Absolutely. There's really no way to give a good idea of what we're going to expect in this overtime. I mean, keep in mind, too, in that third quarter, the Steamers opened up scoring immediately back to back. If that's something they do here, if Sitek gets a good face-off win and they attack the goal quick, but then again, we have good goalie performance on either end. I think it's very much a toss-up in terms of what we're going to see. I'm definitely vying for the full 4 minutes and then the 3-man shootout. It'd be fun to see what teams, players get picked. But other than that, yeah, really no prediction on how this is going to go.
So it'll be Noah Sitek for the Steamers and O.J. Morris for Overpower.
Looks
in
like
what will be the last face-off of the night
looks
in
like
this
they're
game.
going with 3 minutes on the clock,
Okay.
not 4. So.
Oh, turnover. Is this going to be over and back? It will be. And so Overpower, they've already blown the whistle. And they're playing on, even though there was a whistle. Now they restart. And so it will be Overpower with the first possession. Preston Hawkins. Now we'll give it up to Musgrove. He'll look to drive in. He will shoot and score! He beats him on his right shoulder. Will Musgrove with a goal, 31 seconds into overtime.
And that does it. He had one earlier, I believe. Just a confident dodge. Steamers didn't send a second person there. We're relying on Wade to make the save, but that close, generally automatic for a player of Musgrove's caliber. Quite a anticlimactic ending despite everything going on, but Overpower now still in championship game contention with a close win.
And remember, early in the game, they had all of those crease violations.
Yes.
And that one was dangerously close, but they avoid it. The two teams will shake hands as you had the over and back after they had won the possession, but they give it away, and then Overpower on their very first goal scores, or first possession score.
Yeah, you can see a little bit of deliberation here between the Steamers coach and the refs. You know, maybe in a distant future we'll have official video review.
That's never going to be
close scores. Like, hey, you never know. I can put it out there. We can see what happens.
Final score in our first game in overtime on the Musgrave goal, his second. It is Overpower 8, the Stanley Steamers 7. Coming up next, it is Ohio Horde at 2-0 taking on Resolute at 1-1. Stay with us. That action is coming up in about 10 minutes.